Hello everyone and welcome back to another Red Dead Online guide, where in this video we're going to see which is the best shotgun to buy from the catalogue. The shotguns we'll be testing will be the sawnoff, the double barrel, the semi-auto, the lever action, and finally the pump action. So let's get right to it, shall we? So let's begin with lock-on range, the minimum amount of distance that you need between a target to be able to lock on. And thankfully, shotguns are pretty simple, as they all seem to have the exact same lock-on range all the way from the sawnoff to the full-length shotguns. Of course, there's no way in hell that the shotguns would be effective at these kinds of ranges, but I digress. So next up, damage. This is where things got a little interesting. You see, shotguns, unlike all other guns, fire things called shotgun shells, as well as other ammunition, but on the most part things that come out of the end of shotguns are not like true bullets, and are more like scattered pellets, but I'm sure most of you will know that if you play games regularly or shoot real guns. So I started off with slugs, and at a fixed distance all shotguns dealt the exact same damage. Again, very simple. It makes the video a lot easier to compile. It would seem that no matter how close you are to a target, slugs won't dish out a killing blow, which makes no sense because slugs are designed for downing big game animals like bears and deer, that of which even larger than humans at times, so I guess it all just comes down to everyone is playing as a T-1000 in the 1800s. Where things got difficult though was determining the minimum distance that you had to be from a human player target to guarantee a one-shot kill with a standard buckshot shell. Your results will vary of course depending on the player's current level, the health, fortifications, deadeye and card perks and much more, so for my testing to ensure the most accurate results, of which the shotgun is allowed to kill the farthest distance in one shot, I would have my target stand in one place and I would just use this fence here to count how many fence post distances it would take to be at the maximum possible distance, so that when I fire off just one shot in the chest, I will get a kill. But there's just one little problem. Bloom. This was easily rectified with the use of Deadeye, since when Deadeye is active, all shots will 100% go where the crosshair dot is aimed at. So all I have to basically do is take numerous shots at the same target whilst Deadeye is active, and then slowly calibrate the maximum distance that one is allowed to get a one-shot kill. Of course, Deadeye isn't actually affecting the damage itself, but rather affecting how accurate the shot is, and then in turn the maximum possible damage that the shotgun can inflict at a certain distance. This test took a really long time, but thankfully I have it all recorded and here's the results. So as you can see from the chart, the sawnoff was understandably the weapon that you had to be the closest with to guarantee a one-shot kill, with the double barrel, the semi-auto and the lever action being a little longer, but that pump action absolutely destroyed everything else, having the furthest possible one-shot guarantee. Again, these results are with my level, the target's level with a standard shell while in Deadeye, so your results will vary. Next up, let's take a look at reload times. These don't really matter too much in my opinion, since all the shotguns on the most part carry enough shells to kill anything that moves, with the minor exception being the side-by-side shotguns at times. Again, T-1000s, which also have the longest reload time when it comes to reloading, putting just one extra shell in the gun. Of course, ultimate reload times will vary depending on how many shells you need to reload into the gun, but not only is it the action of actually putting the shells into the gun, but there's also the act of having to charge the gun in the form of actuating a lever, pumping the pump action or pulling back on the hammers. The semi-auto and the pump action were the quickest of the bunch, since there isn't really anything for the character to do before and after you put shells in the gun, whereas the other guns need to either be broken, actuated halfway or half-cocked to insert new shells into the gun. Speaking of actuation, let's have a quick look at firing the guns at rapid pace, both aiming and hip firing. Obviously the semi-auto shines here, having nothing for the character to do to fire off consecutive shots, whereas the limitations of the other guns, minus the side-by-sides, have to be pumped or actuated to be able to fire off another shot. The side-by-sides can fire just as quickly as the semi-auto, especially when you're holding two of them at once, but because they only carry 2 shots per gun, I wouldn't really consider this an advantage, especially with the loss in accuracy that the guns have when fired so quickly. Speaking of accuracy, the amount of time it takes for the bloom effect to shrink down as far as it can go is, on the most part, pretty much the same for all the shotguns. However, the sawnoffs seem to get the biggest reduction in bloom, being almost half the size of all the other shotguns, making them pretty darn accurate in most most situations. Even the dual sawnoffs with 4 shots at your disposal with this kind of accuracy, these would be pretty powerful up close. And that brings me on to the final part of this comparison, what the shotguns have that are uniquely special to them. We've established that the sawnoffs have the best accuracy, the pump has the best one-shot kill range, the semi-auto excels in rapid fire, the lever action is the middle ground, and the double barrel acting as the cousin of its sawnoff counterpart, lacking in accuracy but excelling in one-shot kill range. I think for me personally, because there's currently an ongoing bug in the game where despite you knowing for sure that you cocked or pumped your gun earlier before an encounter, the game sometimes makes your character cock or pump the gun for no reason, leaving you vulnerable to attack by the other player. It's very aggravating when it happens, and the semi-auto shotgun doesn't seem to suffer from this problem because no matter what, the action is already done, hence it's called a semi-automatic shotgun. Though I can understand a lot of people when all they want is a one-shot kill range, and even before this video I noticed people saying that the pump action was the best of the bunch, and I can agree in that regard. But let me know what your favourite shotgun is, or which one you're going to try out and buy. Let me know in the comments, and hey, if you found this video useful, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for loads more videos coming to you very soon. See you around, folks.